In this video, I'll tell you all about the Camtasia Screen Recorder, how to use it, and all the options available to you, including how to record on a multiple monitor system. Let's get into it. When you launch Camtasia, you're presented with this screen here, the Welcome to Camtasia screen. And from here, you can either launch the recorder, the screen recorder, right here by pressing this button, or you can start a new project, or in fact, you can open up an existing project and then initiate a recording from in there. So let's not do this one right now. Let's not just start a new recording. Let's open a new project. This is a new blank project. So when you're in a project like this, whether it's blank or maybe you have something in it already, some screen recordings or a video that you want to add another screen recording to. Either way, the way you do that is you go up here to record. You press this button right here. So if I press record here, this is what you're going to get. You're going to get the TechSmith Camtasia Recorder window. Now, a couple things to note. First of all, I'm on a Mac. Now, the Camtasia Recorder on Windows is very similar. So everything I'm going to tell you here applies to you as well. The second thing to note is that I have a multiple monitor system set up. I have 4 monitors, actually. I've got my main MacBook monitor. The MacBook is running my computer. That's my computer that I'm using. I have this external monitor down here that I typically use for recording. Anytime I do a screen recording, I usually do it on this monitor here, just a 1080p monitor. Then I have my main 4K monitor up here if I want to do larger screen recordings and also for video editing. And then my side monitor over here set up vertically is just a 1080p monitor that I usually have my Finder or File Manager windows open on. So whether you have multiple monitors or just one monitor, this is still going to work for you. So taking a look at the recorder, the first pane here on the far left is the display that you want to capture. So you have to decide which display you want to capture. If you only have one monitor, you're only going to have one option here. So let me just click on here. So these are all of our options. It lists, for me, it lists all the different monitors that I have. And as I hover over them, the green recording window moves from monitor to monitor. So if I just have it, so this InnoView monitor here with the check mark, that's the monitor you're seeing right here. If I go up to, say, the BenQ monitor, that's my 4K one, then the green box is around the entire screen up there. So you can select your monitor here. The next thing is choose region. If I click on this, I'm presented with crosshairs. And what I can do now is I can actually select the exact region that I want to record. I can just place my cursor up here, click, hold down, and then drag, and then release. That defines the area that I'm about to record. Okay? Now it gives us the width and the height that I selected. This is a 1920 by 1080 pixels monitor. So that's why these numbers here are smaller than that, because I selected a window within the monitor. You're allowed to set up some custom presets if you want. And then you can also, if you made a mistake and that's not the region you want, you can reselect region here. Let's just go ahead and do that. If I click that, it gives me the crosshairs again. Okay. And then if I'm ready to record, I can just click the OK button. I'm not going to do that right now. A few more things I want to show you. So let's cancel out of this. Okay, so let's go back into our menu. Now these options here, I'll switch views here. As I'm hovering over them, it's displaying different options in my larger monitor. Okay, there's a couple other presets here, a small and a large square option. There are some vertical options here. So let's say you want to do a YouTube short or an Instagram reel. You would select a 9:16 here. But again, you don't have to pick them here. You can set these elsewhere. And then down here are some recent regions that I've used. So this one, I'm hovering over here. You can see the green box within this monitor. That's the last one I had just demonstrated to you. And then this one is on my larger monitor. Let's select this one here. Okay. Now, once we have this selected, again, you can reselect the region. You can change the height and the width. Let's say I want the width exactly 1300. You can type that in. Okay, and the height, let's say I want it to be 700. You can type that in and then it automatically adjusts. Okay, you can set your region that way. And then once you have your region set the way you want it, you can then put whatever you want to record within this recording area. Okay, so let's just back out of this again. So let's assume that that's what we want to record. You can also change your frames per second here, your frame rate. I can change that to 30 frames per second. Okay. Now, if I also want to record my face at the same time within Camtasia, I can select this camera icon right here. So I can toggle that on, and then you're presented with all the options you have if you have more than one option for a camera. So if I drop this down, I have a few different options here. FaceTime HD camera, that's actually this camera coming out of my laptop. It's not displaying this camera here because it's currently in use. I'm using it to record this video. So but under normal circumstances, if I wanted to record myself recording, I would select the Sony camera. That would be an option here. The next thing is the audio. So if you want to also record your voice audio, you want to turn your microphone on, and you do that with this toggle here. Once you toggle that on, you can click to select what your options are. And again, you've got several options, or you may have several options. In my case, I've got the Scarlett 2i2. I know that is my audio interface that my main microphone is hooked up to, and that is selected now. That's what I usually use. I could also choose my MacBook Pro microphone, the one that's built into the to my MacBook, for instance. But let's leave that on there. And then system audio. If I also want to capture the audio of whatever it is I'm recording, so let's say I'm recording watching a YouTube video, for instance, and there's audio, or any video and there's audio in the recording, or click sounds, or anything like that. If I want to record anything within the system while I'm recording, I would turn system audio on right here. Okay? And then finally, one more thing I want to show you is Camtasia Rev. If I toggle this on, then that's going to give you all kinds of different options in terms of how you want your final video to be set up and displayed. And it'll create these options for you automatically. Okay, but if you want more control over how you want everything to look and you just want to set it all up yourself, you can go ahead and uncheck this. So it's up to you whether you want to use that or not. And if you want more details on Camtasia Rev, I have actually created a video a couple months ago about it. So I'll leave a link to that up above and also in the description below. You can check that out. Now let me go ahead and I'm going to actually turn off my voice audio and I'm going to turn off my camera. Let's just demonstrate a screen recording with just the screen in this case. And the monitor, I'm going to leave it set to this monitor here. And I'm going to go ahead and bring a browser window onto my screen. Okay, and I'm going to resize this. Okay, let me just move this out of the way so you can see it. So typically since I have a multiple monitor system, what I would normally do is I would put this recorder on another monitor. I'd put it up here if I was going to record down on this monitor. That's why I like having multiple monitors. I can be recording my audio, for instance, in Adobe Audition on another monitor. That's what I'm doing right now over here. I'm recording my screen. In this case, I'm actually recording this in OBS. And the reason I'm doing that is it's very difficult. In fact, I don't believe you can in Camtasia for Windows. It's difficult to record Camtasia's recorder with Camtasia's recorder. So it is actually possible in a Mac, but just to kind of keep things as simple as possible, I've taken that out of it and I'm just using another program to record the screen here. Okay, but I like to have a clean monitor for doing my screen recordings. That way nothing else is in the way. So now let's say we want to record this screen. Okay, I like to alter the size to make sure the display makes a little bit of sense and there's not a lot of extra space. Like if it was this wide, you know, we have a lot of extra space here and here. So in this case, I may actually make it smaller, something like that. Okay. All right. So once you have the size that you want, let's go back to the recorder and let's click in here and we can click on Choose Region. Okay. Now, you notice the dotted line around this? Camtasia is guessing that that's the reason we're going to want to record. Okay, and as it so happens, that's correct. So in order to do that, I can simply just click anywhere inside this dashed box. Okay, and that sets the recording area. And when I'm ready to record, I just click OK. Okay, so now it's set up to record in that area. We can see the green recording box all the way around. And when I'm ready, I just simply hit record over here. Double check that you have all of the items that you want to record checked, okay? And then you hit record. You're going to get a countdown, 3, 2, 1, and then you're recording. Okay, so I'm moving my mouse. Let's click on free trial here. Okay, I'm going to scroll a bit, scroll like this. Okay, and when you're finished, you can end the recording. And on a Mac, there's a little icon up here in the header that you can click. On a PC, it's something similar. There's also a hotkey, which I'll put it on the screen now, that you can press to stop the recording. But I typically just go and click this here and then click stop recording. Okay, what that does is it then opens up our project file. Okay, this is a brand new project file that it created, and here is our screen recording, and we can take a look by scrubbing through like this. You can see the mouse being moved around, the cursor. Okay, and all of that was captured, and now we're ready to edit. So that's what you'd do if you wanted to create a specific window and you didn't care too much about the dimensions of the final video. But in most cases, when I'm doing a recording, I know I want an exact 16:9 ratio of my recording, typically 1920 by 1080. So let me go ahead and relaunch the recorder, and I want to show you this. Click record. Okay, let's go in here and change our region. We'll scroll back up here. And let's choose FHD 1920 by 1080. Okay, so now what it's doing is it's highlighting the entire screen here, okay, of my lower monitor, my 1080 monitor. Since the monitor is 1920 by 1080, it's capturing everything, okay? This is the reason why I have a 4K monitor. I like to record 1920 by 1080, but I don't want to also capture any header or footer that's part of the iOS system or in a PC that's part of, Windows. I don't want to capture those. I know you can hide those for the purposes of recording, but just to avoid having to do that, and also to avoid any pop-up messages from appearing, what I usually do is I will create a capture area within my 4K monitor, and I'll show you how that works. So let's cancel out of here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to move this back up to the main monitor up here, okay? And now I'm going to, let's bring the TechSmith recorder up here. So now we want to choose a region on the larger monitor. Let's go click on choose region, okay? And we can click this to start with this. And now let's just type in the area that we want. So if we want 3840 by 2160. That's exactly a 16:9 ratio. It's the 4K dimensions, but that's exactly the ratio that I want. So once I have that set, I will click OK here. Okay, and then what I do is I'm going to actually move my window here, my window, and put only the area that I want captured within the green area. So I'll line up the top left corner like that, and then over here I'll drag this over, and you may decide to not include the scroll bar. Usually I don't include it, but sometimes I do it. It just depends on what I'm capturing and what I want to demonstrate. So we can put that there, and then the bottom here we can drag that down to right about there. So now I know my window is sized exactly for the size that I want. It'll be exactly 16:9, and it'll fit in perfectly for the video that I want to create. And once I'm ready with that, let's go back to the screen recorder. Okay, and you can move this kind of out of the way. Again, double check that everything is checked that you want to record. Okay, and then you would hit, let's record my face this time. Okay, again, it's going to take the recording from my laptop webcam, and let's also enable the microphone. Okay, and then when we're ready, click record. We're going to get the countdown, and here is the recording. And if everything is working properly, it's recording my voice as well. Okay, and I'm moving the mouse, I'm scrolling a bit. And I'm clicking on the website. Okay, and when you're finished recording, I will click up here to stop the recording. this window here opened up. And I don't always have control over where the project file will open. When I'm finished recording, it may show up on my lower monitor. It doesn't really matter. I can easily drag them back and forth. But here we go here. The new recording, this is the same file that we created earlier. But now if we look in here, we have a new recording file. That is the original one, and you can tell by the file name, recorded 5/17/2024. This one has the same date, but there's a number 1 after it, and each additional recording you do throughout the day within the same project file, that number increases by 1, okay? So I know this is the latest one. I can click here and drag this down, okay? And now we can see that there were actually 2 tracks that transferred over. Let's resize this window here. We can see this recording is 16:9, and if I go over here to show the recording below, you can see that it was a much smaller recording in size, okay? But back to this one here, we can see the recorder captured the screen, which is this part here. This one here was this that it captured. That's my camera, okay? And I can resize this if I want. And then also the camera captured the audio, and we can tell that by looking at the waveforms here. And if we just press play, we can hear it. Moving the mouse, I'm scrolling a bit. Okay, all of this was captured, and we can go ahead now and edit the video, and that is how you use the Camtasia Recorder. Do you want more tips like this? Let me know in the comments below. Or come join me on Tuesdays in my live stream. I live stream every Tuesday at 1 o'clock Eastern here on YouTube, sharing my screen and doing how-to tutorials. I show you how I make my videos, and I answer any questions you have live. So if you're looking to level up your videos, join me on Tuesdays. I'm Rob, and I'll see you in the next video, or in a live stream. I'll see you soon.